Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is Go Again, a fabulous video cast covering the trading card game Flesh and Blood. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
During the Tales of Aria pre-release, and in the first week or so following the set drop, we saw occasional instances of Oldhim's defense reaction being used incorrectly, namely players trying to use it outside of the defense reaction window. Now, while being a defense reaction, it is pretty straightforward. This is an understandable mistake given how it can block any type of damage, and you could see how someone's head might go there, right? So this is something that's very easily explained and cleared up. However, there are a few other more nuanced items around Oldhim's defense reaction that are worth clarifying. So today, in another installment of How FaB Stuff Works here on Dice Commando, we're looking at Oldhim and his defense reaction. Hello everyone, and welcome to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. I'm Andrew here as always. Today we're talking Oldhim, grandfather of eternity. That's right, the man that gave birth to the person that gave birth to forever. Well, there's some time paradox questions there for sure, and while I can't pretend to answer that, we can today explain and understand Oldhim's defense reaction. So, Oldhim up right there, once per turn defense reaction for 3. If an earth card is pitched this way, to prevent the next 2 damage, it would be dealt to Oldhim. If an ice card is pitched this way, the attacking hero puts a card from their hand on top of the deck. Do note, of course, this is a defense reaction, which means that it has to occur in a defense reaction window. That is the only time it can be played. Now, the damage blocking is persistent throughout the remainder of the turn, whether it be a hit, whether it be some other form of damage, arcane, or just normal damage from like ball lightning or something like that. That's all good, but it has to be triggered during the defense reaction step. Simple enough. So what we have up also here are the release notes, right? And I've highlighted some relevant pieces for the remainder of today's discussion. So you cannot pitch a card if there's not a cost to be played. Duh, it's kind of fundamental to FaB. You cannot pitch a card for a cost if there are already sufficient resources available to you. You must pitch the card as part of the cost to pay for the ability to gain the effect. Having an ice card or earth card in your pitch zone that you pitched for a different cost does not grant the effect. All right, so what I'm showing up right now is kind of the fundamental question that has led to, or the fundamental situation that has led to questions about this, right? So let's propose this situation here where you play a Pulse of Icenloft, and you pitch an earth card, a 3-pitch earth card. So you generated 3, you consumed 2 of those, and you now have 1 floating. You then want to trigger Oldhim's defense reaction on his card, and to do that, you pitch a yellow ice card with, or blue ice card, whatever, but you pitch an ice card with sufficient to cover the cost for Oldhim, making the 3. So the question is, because I'm consuming resources. I'm consuming 1 resource that was produced by Weave Earth and 2 that were produced by Weave Ice, in this case, 1 from Earth, 2 from Ice. Do I trigger both of Oldhim's reactions? The answer is no, right? As very clearly stated in the release notes, as we referred to, he would only get the Ice effect because only the Ice effect, or only the Ice card, was pitched to Oldhim's defense reaction, right? So you would trigger the Ice portion of his ability and not the Earth portion of his ability. Now, just to clarify here, in this case, like I'm showing now, if we were to pitch a 1-pitch Weave Earth and a 2-pitch Weave Ice, for example, 1-pitch Earth or 2-pitch Ice, or any combination thereof, both of those would have been pitched specifically to his effect, and you would thus get both, right? But that's 2 cards from you, of course, right? So remember, just because you have floating resources, it does not trigger. Now, there are other cases out there where I can't think of specifics, but there are other cases out there where it is possible to generate resources, right? I mean, not specifically applicable to this, but like Deep Blue, for example, right? Deep Blue would, if there was a defense reaction or their turn equivalent of Deep Blue, for example, you would be consuming resources from neither source, right? You would not have pitched an earth card, you would not have pitched an ice card. You would get neither bonus, so that'd be a waste, right? Now, what we talked about here, I think, is specifically applicable to a lot of cases in Flesh and Blood, of course. That the card has to specifically be pitched for that. The card has to be pitched to pay for that triggered cost, right? And a good example that's directly applicable here is Winter's Wail. Winter's Wail, if an ice card is pitched this way, Winter's Wail gains, if it hits a hero, create a Frostbite. If you are using, again, this is a 3 cost here, so you'd have to pitch something to it in most cases. But if for whatever case you had an ice card that had already been pitched and you were pitching a non-ice card, it would not have been considered to have been pitched an ice card, right? So the same thing as we looked at before, does not work. And then last, what I want to just show up is, if not necessarily directly applicable to Oldhim in that exact example, but taking what we've learned from Oldhim and applying it generally to the game, you will see examples like, for example, I just talked about Deep Blue. Deep Blue creates resources, but they're not of belonging to an ice or an earth or whatever, right? Even if the earth card that you put on the bottom of your deck was an earth card, they're not resources being produced by the earth card. They are 3 resources being produced by Deep Blue, which then don't have an identity, right? And same thing with the Spring Tunic, right? If you're producing the 1 off of the tunic, it doesn't have necessarily an identity. Nothing was pitched to that, right? So there you have it, right? Oldhim, I'll put him back up again. Make sure that you're using Oldhim correctly, and you can use him in the defense reaction phase. That is the only time that you're able to use him, even though his damage blocking does happen for the rest of the turn. And only cards pitched specifically by the demanded cost of Oldhim are what apply to him. So short and simple video today, of course, but wanted to make sure that was all out there and understood. So thanks for tuning in, folks, and go Commando.